everybody. I hope you guys are doing great. I did like a mini life update video, and this one, gosh, what direction? It's meant to be a serious video, but I'm trying to think. Like, I've seen so many things that I'm trying to think, what is this one going to be about? I guess I'll go in this direction. Okay. So I forget what it pertained to. I wish I could remember because I like to tell you guys the origin of certain thoughts or whatever. But this one, I don't remember. It might be on my phone because I like to do voice memos when inspiration hits me. But it's about being okay with letting somebody fumble you. I just saw a video tonight, even though I've already been wanting to do this topic. Like, I have a voice memo from some days ago where I talked about this. But it was a blonde-haired lady that was saying, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. When you take a guy back, he doesn't think, oh, she has such a good heart. He thinks, wow, she's a dumb girl. And I'm going to level with you guys. I think that's so true. I think that when you mistake being a doormat and self-abandonment with just being a nice person, that unfortunately men and some women will think you're just simple-minded and will not respect you. What I've been wrestling with, like, I have been really getting to know myself for a while, but especially over the past, like, couple years, I've just been trying to understand myself, evolving. I'm very big on saying, like, if you knew me a while ago, like, you don't know me anymore because I'm not like that anymore. And that's why, like, certain painful experiences I've been through, I'm not mad. Well, let me clarify. It's not that I'm not mad, but I don't regret them. And there's a difference. Like, I can be resentful about ways that I feel like I've been treated by different people, but I don't regret it. And I'm actually grateful because I like who I am now more than who I was back then. And not because who I was back then wasn't a lovely person, because she was, but she was basically a walking victim. And I'm no longer a walking victim. And I love that about me. Like, I love that once I peep that you ain't shit, I'm not going to stick around and, let you run me into the ground. I'm not doing it, and I had to, like, go through a lot of stuff to become that person, to finally, like, get my wake-up call and become that person. So in that regard, I like who I am now more than who I once was, even though I love her too, the old me. But I also realized that I was mistaking being nice. Like, I thought, oh, I'm so nice, I'm so sweet, when really I just had low self-esteem and was self-abandoning. I was willing to set myself on fire to keep other people warm. And that was just how I moved. And even then, it wasn't enough. And that's when I realized, I'm sorry, but the irony was realizing that wasn't enough, like, that I was going to be treated like shit no matter what. In fact, the more I self-sacrificed, the more shitty I was treated. That's when I was like, yeah, no. This ain't it. And I love that for me, that I finally got the message, I still, like, I love to care for people, but I'm reserving that care more than anything for my daughter. some family, and for people I just care about and who I feel deserve my love, earned my love, you know. So I'm not just loving freely anymore. Maybe one day I'll love freely again. I don't know. I think that's how Jesus loves. But I, like, in this mortal world where I want to live a long life and a happy life and a peaceful life, I don't feel like I can just, it's, I'm going to tell you guys a sad story. I was on social media and there was this woman, I don't know what country she was from, but she was tragically murdered because she went on a expedition across the world trying to prove that men are trustworthy. And while she found some nice men, seemingly, obviously the last one she ran into raped and murdered her. And if you could probably look up the story, if you take some of the keywords of what I'm talking about or whatever, you could probably find the story. But, it sucks that happened to her, and I hate that. And one of the things that came from that, though, for me, when I was watching it, because I saw a lot of people commenting and everything, and, some people's comments were, in my opinion, cruel. But what I thought to myself, I'm like, even if your experiences were all positive, which clearly was not the case, but even if they were, are you going to tell every other woman and child and even man who has been sexually assaulted or robbed or beaten or set up or whatever, killed, you're going to tell all of them that what happened to them didn't matter? Because in a weird way, even though I don't think that was what she was trying to say, I feel like that could be said of what she was doing, because the thing is, it's wonderful when you find good people, but don't take good people for granted. And I mean, the fact is, you have to be careful. Period. Like, you got to watch your back. You got to be careful, because there are too many predators in the world. And whether her expedition had been successful or not, which again, sadly, it was not. It came to a brutal, horrific end. But if it had been, it still wouldn't take away from the fact that you have to be careful, because at this very moment, there are women and children and even men who are being harmed. Okay? So just something to think about. But yeah, I think I was talking about the whole being, getting being okay with people fumbling you. I think women's biggest issue is investment. We have this sickness, and I've talked about this in previous videos, I believe, where I've discussed about how we will sink all this time and emotion and everything into a man. And then we think, even when he looks like a horrible investment, we think we have to stay, and we absolutely do not. What is your life worth to you? Especially if you are remotely young, which I would call myself remotely young as a 43-year-old woman. I would say I'm remotely young. Okay, I'm not young like a kid, but I'm not old at all. I'm currently going through my lady time, if you catch my meaning. So, still in my fertile years, whatever, So I'm too young. And by the way, not coming for any exes, nothing like that, but I'm too young to waste time on a bad romantic investment. or non-romantic investment. You know, but I'm too young for that. Like, it's not like I'm 80 years old and I look at my husband one day and I'm like, you know, Paul, I could do better than you. And life expectancy is about 80. And I go through the process of getting a divorce just to live like a few more years without him. I mean, I'm not telling you you can't do that, but I mean, baby, you're near the finish line now. So it's like, you know, but I have too many years ahead of me to waste my time on someone that is a bad investment, you know? And I wish more women understood that concept. I am so sorry. Hope I'm still recording. My phone just like was letting me know my battery is low. But yeah, I wish more women understood that concept. And I feel like if they did, it would save so many of us a lot of wasted years. I just know so many women who have wasted their years on men who were bad investments, you know? So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that part. But yeah, about letting somebody fumble you. It's just basically, you know, I'm one of those people that, again, mistaking being nice for self-abandonment and vice versa, whatever, you know, where I just had this idea of like, if somebody came to me and was apologetic that, you know, I should like try to work things out or whatever, and I realize, again, going back to the whole bad investment, it's okay to let people fumble you, you know? It's okay. I mean, you have to think that you are worth more, because you are, than having to chase down people who are not worthy of you. So anyway, I want to get deeper into this, but it's hard for me to get deeper into it without putting business in the street. So I'm just going to leave it here. I hope you catch my meaning. You know, stop wasting your time and stop chasing after people who do not deserve you. And be okay with being the one that got away. I know that's hard, but yeah, learn how to be okay with that. And also believe that there are greater things out there, because there absolutely are. But when you're so blinded by thinking that that was all you could get, you know, that's the best you can do, that's all there is, then unfortunately, you may create that reality. And it was a blessing when I finally understood that there was more out there in the world. Maybe I would have to work for it, as in, you know, losing a significant amount of weight to get what I want. But, you know, I need to lose the weight anyway. So, you know, whether I find my Prince Charming at nearly 300 pounds or whether I find him when I get almost out of the 200s, I need to lose the weight anyway. But I have a feeling that it's going to be, in fact, I don't even want to date until I've lost over 60 pounds. That's just me, you know. From my current weight of 295.6, about 66 pounds is when I'm wanting to date. So we're going to see. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Bye.